All right. Hopefully you guys can see me and I'm in frame. Because I just recorded this whole video and I was in frame, but I mean, it wasn't good. So I wanted to make a fairly simple video today focusing all around crystals, which ones that I got when I first started collecting and practicing crystal healing. And I also talked to a couple of my witchy friends out on the Pagan Amino and Instagram, and I got some of their opinions on what they think are really good crystals to start out with. None of these are what you absolutely have to get, or the only crystals that beginners should get. This is merely a guideline for people who are really lost feeling and don't really know where to start with their crystal journey. These aren't the only crystal out there, and you can do just fine without anything at all, crystals or any tools at all. You don't need any tools to practice magic. The only mandatory tool that you need is you. You are the only thing that is required to practice witchcraft. And if you're just starting out, don't stress about getting all of the crystals that I'm going to talk about in this video. Your path is a lifetime long, and you will be able to collect so many beautiful crystals and so many beautiful magical tools. You definitely don't need to worry about like rushing into that. The other disclaimer that I want to put out there is that there's no like one best crystal that you could possibly get. All of these are just opinions of me and other witches, other crystal collectors. So the only best crystal is going to be the one that resonates the loudest with you. What I suggest when shopping for crystals is shop for them in person if you're able to. Not everyone has a local metaphysical shop, but it's definitely worth looking for one. If not, check out flea markets, garage sales. You can even go for a walk and find like a pretty stone on the ground that might not be a crystal, but it still comes from the earth. It's still going to be meaningful, and even more so meaningful because you found it yourself in your town or wherever. But let's say, for example, that you do have a store that sells crystals and has a wide variety of crystals. The way that I suggest people shop for them is look around at your selection, touch them if you're allowed to. Some places are weird about that. I've actually had places like encourage me to touch the stones. So touch them if you can, but if you see one that you're immediately drawn to and that you have to pick it up, or if you have this sense of a strong humming or vibrating coming from either within yourself or within the crystal, or you might just have an extreme or intense shift in energy or shift in emotions, and all of those things mean that crystal is calling out to you and that you're connecting with it. So the reason that I have selected this list of crystals for you guys is because I believe that they represent a full chakra spectrum, which was always where my personal focus was when I first started out. I was getting into chakra healing, I was getting into crystal healing, and I wanted my crystals to correlate with my chakras. And also, it's easy to use this chakra system because it's based in a rainbow, and most people who use crystals group the uses of the crystals together based on color. So most of the stones in the same color group as the ones I'm about to list will be able to perform the same tasks and have similar effects, if that makes any sense. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. The first crystal on my list of recommendations has definitely got to be clear quartz. 100% every witch that I asked said this at one point. You could have a clear quartz and not have a need for any other crystal because you can charge clear quartzes to do pretty much anything, and they can take the position of any actual colored stone out there. It's often referred to as the universal crystal or the stone of power. I personally use clear quartz anytime I do any magical working. You can charge the stone to do anything you need it to, such as promote clear thinking, promote creativity, and promote a restful sleep. It will work to boost your personal energy as well as other crystals around it. So it's really good to pair your other crystals around a piece of clear quartz, because it will help to charge them and to boost their energy. Clear quartz will also help to boost psychic powers and psychic protection. It connects with every single chakra, but most popularly it connects with the crown chakra. And there are also many different forms of quartz, and you may have heard of some of them, but I'm going to give a few an honorable mention now. The most popular being rose quartz, and then there's smoky quartz, rutilated quartz. There's also amethyst, citrine, and onyx. Those are all members of the quartz family. So it's incredibly diverse, and quartz is believed to be the most abundant crystal in the whole world, which is why it is so commonly people's first crystal, because it's everywhere. All right. The second stone that I want to discuss with you all is red jasper. I don't actually own a red jasper, so any of the pictures that you're seeing of it aren't coming from me. But I did want to mention this stone because it's really important, and a lot of the witches that I talked to, especially when I mentioned that I needed a red stone, brought up this one. So, and when I was preparing for this video, it made me realize that I don't have very many red stones. I have a red citrine, but I cover citrine later, and I only wanted to stick to one because I could use all the different colors of citrine for all the different chakras. So red jasper and other red toned crystals connect to the root chakra or the base chakra. And there are other non-red stones out there that connect to it, such as obsidian, tourmaline, and bloodstone. But those are not red, so I wanted to stick to my rainbow for the sake of this video. Red jasper has been used for centuries and was very popular in ancient Chinese medicinal rituals. The Native Americans also used to hold the belief that this stone symbolized the blood of the earth. This stone houses a very calming nature, and therefore it is known to help resolve difficult situations and to stabilize one's aura. All right, the third stone is an orange one, commonly an orangey red brown tone, and that is carnelian, which is a really hot and heavy type of stone. Carnelian connects with the sacral chakra, and that makes it a really great stone to use during grounding meditations and grounding rituals. Carnelian is very powerful, and it has been known to treat things such as lower back pain, arthritis, and depression. It's a courage stone, and it has been known to be carried in the hands of leaders and others in search of courage and endurance. This stone is great to promote fertility and sexuality, and throughout history, many hopeful mothers have used this crystal to assist them while getting pregnant.
Hi guys, I'm editing this and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I got citrine and orange calcite mixed up. When I'm talking about that I want to eat it and that I think it looks like an orange, I'm talking about orange calcite. The rest of the time though, I'm talking about citrine. I'm sorry.
Now the fourth stone, which is actually one of my favorites because it's my birthstone, or one of my birthstones, and that is citrine. I was born in November, so if you were too, congratulations. This is one of your birthstones as well. And citrine was actually the first sizable crystal that I ever bought for myself. It's also the first stone that I ever wanted to eat. If you ever get the pleasure to see or hold a citrine in person, you might know what I'm talking about. And it might be the Florida witch in me, but I swear it looks like the most juiciest orange I've ever seen. But citrine, like all the others previously, can be used for an array of things. It's a very stimulating stone, and it affects the brain and strengthens one's intellect. It promotes creativity and encourages self-expression. Citrine in particular connects with the solar plexus chakra. This is one stone that many practitioners believe you don't need to cleanse at all. Because of the way it filters out negative energy and transmutes that energy into positive vibrations, it cannot hold on to negative energies, and therefore it does not need to be cleansed. So if you have a large collection of stones, you can use this one stone to cleanse all of the other ones. That's an effective way to cleanse without using something like smoke. Now onto the fifth stone. Some of you might be expecting this one because the most beautiful green stone in the whole world is malachite. And that is because we are moving on to the heart chakra, which is predominantly a green energy. And I know what some of you guys might be thinking, because I thought the same thing. What? It's your heart chakra. Shouldn't that be the rose quartz? And you would be absolutely right, because the rose quartz does also connect to the heart chakra. But the rainbow thing, you guys already know. We're going to malachite. This is a stone that I have watched from afar, and I do have a small piece of it, and I cherish it. But for some reason, this stone always seems to elude me. Whenever I do see it in a store, it is very expensive. And I know that it's not the most common, but it's not a super rare stone either when it comes to super rare stones. I do have a desire to collect more when they finally show themselves to me. But for now, I can cherish the malachite that I do have. And malachite itself promotes balance, abundance, manifestation, and intention. I commonly use this stone in money and prosperity workings, and it actually lives in my money bowl. This stone has been referred to as the stone of transformation because it's used in deep energy cleanings and healings. This crystal brings positive energy and transformations to the ones carrying.
Okay, I look a little bit different, and that is because when I was editing, I realized that I just totally didn't finish recording. So I'm going to finish that right now. Okay, so moving on to our sixth stone and our bluest stone. And it was really hard to decide which one I wanted to include, so I'm going to go ahead and just list off some other ones that I didn't include before I do the big reveal on which one I chose. And so some other really great light blue stones that will apply to this list include kyanite, sodalite, amazonite, and azurite. But the one that I decided on, and it's not even always blue or light blue or anything specific like that, is labradorite, and that is one of my all-time favorite stones. I have not a huge collection of it, but it is the crystal that is most abundant in my collection. And I use it daily. I use it constantly. I always say if I had to pick one that I could collect for the rest of my life, I would just keep getting more labradorite. This stone shows itself in an array of colors, which you will see. I'll show you guys all of my labradorite pieces. In its light blue form, it connects to the throat chakra and can assist with communication. And because of that, a lot of people use it in astral projection and communicating with spirit guides or ancestors. It's also a great tool for meditation, and when you hold it to your third eye, it can open your mind to the shadow realms. It works to awaken one's intuitive and psychic abilities, and it has even been known to relieve stress and help regulate blood pressure. So it's all around a powerhouse stone. That's what I would refer to it as. Now, the seventh stone on my list, I don't actually own. I've admired it for years, but it's never become a part of my collection. And that is Lapis Lazuli. There's a few different ways that I've heard people say it, and it's Lapis Lazuli, Lapis Lazuli, Lazuli. There's a bunch of different ways that you could say it. I call it Lapis Lazuli. And this stone is entirely worth the indigo spot on my rainbow. It connects to the third eye chakra, and some non-indigo stones that also connect to the third eye chakra are obsidian, sodalite, amethyst, and labradorite that I just mentioned. Lapis Lazuli is known to help with insomnia and other sleeping disorders. It's also a really good stone to work when you're trying to overcome depression. This stone can help with the respiratory and nervous system, and it connects to the throat and thyroid. Throughout history, many practitioners have used lapis to cleanse organs and bones of their patients. Alright, and on to the very last stone that I'm going to mention today, and I think I mentioned it actually in the very beginning of the video. It's a type of quartz that you're probably already very familiar with, and that is amethyst. And yes, the stone is a member of the quartz family. The quartz family is huge. Because of the color, though, of amethyst, the purple tones, the uses for the stone are a bit more narrowed than your typical clear quartz. But it doesn't make it any less powerful. Many practitioners correlate the color purple with psychic abilities, intuition, spirituality, meditation, and healing. Amethyst has been known to help with sleeping problems and dreaming, especially for those who suffer with insomnia and other sleeping disorders very similar to lapis. Those prone to night terrors and nightmares may place the amethyst under their pillow to help draw away those negative energies. Okay, those were 8 and quite a few more, but my top 8 crystals that I recommend for people starting out with collecting crystals. And I'll repeat myself, like I said in the disclaimer in the beginning, these are not the only crystals out there, and you don't need any of them to be considered a witch. You don't need any crystals at all. You don't need any tools at all. These are simply recommendations because it can be super intimidating to walk into a crystal store or be looking on online stores to try to find a crystal and not really know what you want or what crystals can even do. So this is just an idea. You know, if you feel drawn to any of the crystals that I've shown you today, then maybe that's what you should be picking up on your next trip to the crystal store. But, okay, yeah, this was a way too long, drawn-out video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try to work on more videos more frequently. I know I say that like every outro I do, but I really do want to get better at this and not take 3-4 months in between a video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it helped you learn a little bit more about crystals if you didn't already know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.